Like if you want to improve your marriage, ask a husband or a wife that you think have a healthy marriage. If you want to be a better parent, get around parents that you think that are parenting excellent. If you want to graduate, then get around people that have graduated, because you can ask them questions. And if they're open enough to share where they have failed, it actually becomes wisdom for you. Have you had your daily drip? Welcome back to season 2 of the Daily Drip podcast, where we create kingdom content that builds community. I'm your host, Aaron Levy, and I got the doctor in the building.
Hey.
What's up, Doc?
Hey, how you doing?
Got the gold chain flexing.
Oh,
You've been rocking gold ever since I met you. You got the Mercedes now.
Okay.
But you had gold when you had the Camry.
Yeah. Well, the gold came from my wife.
Ah.
She started that.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that's a value. I got silver.
I see you. Yeah.
I'm in second place. Yeah. You won.
Well, hey, humble beginnings though. Humble beginnings from the beginning.
Am I still beginning? I need to get the gold though, right?
Hey, you get the gold, but don't do it because of me.
Okay. See, the drip today is wisdom. See, he's already dropping wisdom. Hey, if you're new to our community, what is Daily Drip? It's devotional reading for insight and practice. We're going to squeeze the script for that daily drip. So last week we were talking about there's nothing new under the sun. So remember, Pastor Adam and I were talking about that word new. And now this week we're going to be talking about wisdom. I wanted Dr. Willie Jones on here because he is someone that I've gone to for wisdom for decades now. So I want to get his perspective of this. We're in Ecclesiastes 1:12-18. I'm low-key excited because he got Bible, notes, concordance. You got a whole situation. I'm a little nervous about what's about to happen. But hey, we're gonna squeeze it right now. Let's go to wisdom. Verse 12. I, the preacher, have been king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I applied my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all that is under heaven. And it is an unhappy business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. I've seen everything that is done under the sun, and behold, it is all vanity and a striving after wind. What is crooked cannot be made straight. What is lacking cannot be counted. I said in my heart, I've acquired great wisdom, surpassing all who were over Jerusalem before me, and my heart has had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I applied my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this is also but a striving after wind. Verse 18, for in much wisdom is much vexation, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. A little sad. Give us some. What is he talking about right here?
Yeah, wow. I mean, that was a lot. There was a lot there, but I have to reflect back from when I started out as a young man, and we used to hear other men say, "Hey, you have to be the best. You have to do different things, and you have to do this. You have to do that." And it almost seemed like it was about me, about I. You know. I have to graduate. I have to get the car. I have to work. I have to make money. And so everything was predicated on me and not the maker.
Okay.
And so that's what many fathers, many men do to their young men is tell them, like, you have to do this. Yeah. And if you don't, guess what?
Yeah.
You're going to look down on, you're not going to make it, you're not going to do this, you're not going to be successful. And oftentimes we have a lot of men that are not. They're insecure about who they are because they didn't make it the way their father, their parents.
For sure, because I'm thinking about King Solomon.
Right.
His dad is King David. Mm-hmm. To this day, you go to the city of David, and there's so many pressure that sons have when their fathers do great.
Right.
And there's so much pressure that sons have when their fathers aren't in their life. So no matter what, there's this pressure that culture teaches us based upon our Father. And what I see here in verses 12 through 18, he says, my heart 4 times. So, and I applied my heart to seek and search out wisdom. I said in my heart, and in my heart, I had great experience. I applied my heart. And what ends up happening is when we're younger, we got these things that are implanted in my heart, our hearts. You got to be the best. You got to have this type of car. You got to have this type of degree. And this is what a man needs to do. You got to man up to this. So sometimes we're saying these things in our heart. But again, remember, community, he's reflecting on wisdom under the sun, not a wisdom that comes from God, wisdom that comes from his experience. But what I've learned, bro, is when we don't have wisdom from God, the only thing that we can do is have wisdom from our experiences and our emotions. Because what he says here in verse 16, he said, and my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I applied my heart to know wisdom and know madness and know folly. So he doesn't just want to know wisdom. He wants to know folly. He wants to know madness. He's testing it all since he has access and since money gives you options. Okay, if this is not the wise choice to make, well, what if I make this foolish choice? What if I make this other choice? And I'm testing the waters because since I may not measure up to my Father and I have these resources and this access, I might as well try something different.
Right, right.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's in a way that's how life goes, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying something different. I'm either going to be successful, I'm going to fail, and so I'm gaining knowledge in a sense, earthly knowledge in a sense of what I should do next, and I may try something else, and I may fail at that. Now, I'm continuing on until finally I'm being successful. Earthly knowledge is, you're gonna try, and maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't work, but you continue to try. But I think as we look at our fathers, if we're doing if we're listening to our fathers, and I'm going to a godly sense, so we listen to our fathers, and oftentimes I remember coaching my son in basketball. So I would tell my son, "Hey, get that elbow straight up to the net, and you'll make the shot."
Okay.
He gets in the game, he doesn't do what I'm telling him to do, so he fails. And then another coach comes along and he tells him to do it, and he finally does it, and he's being successful. And so oftentimes we're like that in life. It's very simple for us to follow what our fathers are saying, but we're listening to someone else. Now we're going to follow it because, I don't know what it is. It's because maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But when someone else tells us to do it, it's almost like our God, the Father, is telling us now we're gonna take care of it. And so
what I've learned is we're gonna learn from wisdom or we're gonna learn from consequence. And I think from that experience, your son probably listened to your advice, but through the experience of missing enough shots, then hearing it again from someone else doesn't necessarily mean that our kids didn't listen to us, they listened to somebody else. But being that they didn't listen to us on the front end, they're dealing with the consequences of not listening to it. And then somebody else saying it is an echo of their father's voice, reinforcing, yeah, I should have listened to my father's voice. And if we think about that in the spiritual, even no matter your relationship with your earthly father, we all have an access and the opportunity to have a relationship with our heavenly Father. Because remember, he's reflecting from wisdom under the sun. That's natural, Father. That's going to be pressure. And that's why he reflects in verse 15. He says, what is crooked cannot be made straight. What is lacking cannot be counted. So I thought about that when you talk about jumpers. If his jumper is crooked, he's not going to score. And then from your assessment, man, he's not listening. It's not going to be straight. But through the power of God, the only wisdom that can make something crooked straight is God. You can have the most experience in the world, but if you don't have God in your life, the things that are crooked will remain crooked. And that's why, bro, I want to hear from your perspective on verse 18. Because when I first read it, I'm like, well, dang, how do we navigate that? Because you're somebody I look to for wisdom. In verse 18, he says, for in much wisdom is much vexation, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. Unpack that a little bit.
Oh yeah. So I can really attest to this portion of chapter 18, because I'm always seeking wisdom, and I believe that the experiences in life that we go through, we always talk about the easy button. Oh, it's going to be easy, but it's not easy. You have to go through something in order to gain that wisdom. For me, my father passed when I was 13, so I had to gain wisdom from other men, but then also go through life doing different things and experiencing those sorrows in order to understand. Okay, this is how I react to this. I can't overreact to that, and so. As I go through, even with our marriage, with raising our kids, it's painful.
Yeah, for sure.
It's painful to see your son go through something that, man, I've been through that.
Yeah.
I've been through that. I told you not to speed.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and over and over again, I told you not to speed. Now you're getting a ticket because you didn't follow through with what I said.
Okay.
But he has to gain wisdom from experiencing getting that ticket. Yeah. I have the wisdom because I got the ticket as well, but I have wisdom and I'm trying to share that with him. But, you know, he has to experience that. And so we go through life with those different things.
I guess what I'm catching from you when he's saying in much wisdom is much vexation is because you've gone through some painful things in your youth and now you've learned the straight way to go. And wisdom says, teach people I love, hey, don't go that way. Hey, don't speed like that. So then the vexation comes from the fact that, man, I love you and you didn't run the play that I told you to run. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to help you. That's what I think I'm hearing you say, that the sorrow comes from, hey, not only have I dealt with the sorrow from my own failures in the past, man, I don't want that to be generational.
Right.
So that goes to episode 1 with me and my daughter when we were talking about sports and that there's certain emotions that I carried, but now I have the experience to know, man, there's so much more to life than sports, but I can use those characteristics. So I guess to practice this for the week, any area that you failed in is an opportunity for wisdom. Because if we're talking about a crooked way being made straight, it's not necessarily from your improvement, it's from your surrender. And what surrender has looked like to me in the past is, hey, bro, this is an area I failed in. Hey, bro, this is an area I'm struggling in. And if I surrender to counsel from wisdom or to counsel from God, that is how those crooked ways can be made straight. So I would just say get healthy thought partners that you believe to be wise. Like if you want to improve your marriage, ask a husband or a wife that you think have a healthy marriage. If you want to be a better parent, get around parents that you think that are parenting excellent. If you want to graduate, then get around people that have graduated because you can ask them questions. And if they're open enough to share where they have failed, it actually becomes wisdom for you. Will, do you have any other closing thoughts on how we can practice being wise this week?
Yeah, I think, too, evaluating yourself and also getting in your word and praying about how you can help yourself get through these things and who are the people that he's going to guide you to go through these things with you. But get into your word, pray. He's made you after his own being. So the wisdom's there. But oftentimes we get distracted by everything that's going on. So pray, get in your word, and get yourself with people that are going to help you out.
Heck yeah. Proverbs 1:5 is one of my favorite verses. It says, the wise seeks counsel. The wise is the person that's asking questions and the one that obtains guidance. So it's like culture teaches the opposite. Culture teaches, hey, if you're wise, answer all the questions. No, God says in his word is, if you're wise, you're going to be the one asking the most questions. So what I've been striving to do in this season of my life, my prayer time has more questions than answers. So that gives me an opportunity to say, hey, God, I don't have the answers. So that way, when I get asked a question that I don't feel I have the answer, I don't feel pressured because I'm a wise man that I have to have it figured out. I just have a posture. I don't know, but we can seek God together. So this week, that'll be the practice. Who are you seeking God with to be wise? Because Solomon, this whole time, my heart, my heart, my heart. Where's his counsel? Where's his friends? And if we have our friends around us, we won't have to have so much pressure to be the only one that's wise. Well, thank you so much, Will, for being on. And we're going to close this episode by saying,
stay dripping, my friends.